This is Go Veer, Go Home. I want to welcome you to another layout update. I've been hard at work the past couple of weeks now, working on my peninsula. I know it might not look like much, but I can only do so much at a time. I can only get so much materials at a time, and obviously being a father again, always spending time with the family and being on baby duty, so which I totally don't mind because the kids are great. But when I do manage to get some alone time, I come down here and I work on my train layout. So I'll show you a little bit of what I have been doing since I last left you. Now, you guys had already seen this foam. It was cut. The two big pieces that I have rounded off. I've got one on this side and I've got one on the other side there. It starts at about, see where that line is there, and it goes down. It's a full piece. That one's not glued down yet, but I got this one glued down, and it's only because I was able to add to the bench work. As you can see, I've got this bracing here to there, and I was able to just make a square, almost like a, well, not square, rectangle box, and kind of just add it on here. I added a leg, nice and sturdy, just for extra support, coming out this way. And then, like, I added a piece just coming out here, just a little piece. I don't know why that's a lot shorter than what I had planned it to be. Well, that's my benchwork skill for you there. Although, the train doesn't come way out to here, it's way over here. But I mean, it's still sturdy. It's glued down to this pretty good. So, and then coming around this way, comes right out to the edge, right here, and right to the corner here, and then that's flat there. So really, all this is for is when I put my fascia, however you want to pronounce it, up like this, and it goes around, I'll be able to screw it to here. Maybe screw it to here, but I'll be able to screw it to there, so it's going to go right with the contour of that, and it's going to look real neat. As you can see, got the go car out there, just kind of testing the curve, and that looks like a pretty awesome view from here, but that's just because I'm down on one knee. Getting too old for that. But as you can see, there's a black line here, and that's originally where I actually had the curve. Not sure what radius that was, but it was too tight for for 6-axle locomotives, and it was too tight for these guys. It just kept coming off the track. So instead of having it come out and then quickly go in, I made it more of a relaxed, rounded curve. I believe it's like 20 or 21 inch radius. These cars are guaranteed to be able to do an 18. I think that might have been less than 18. Either way, it's pretty good now. And we're going to follow this track because I only have it to about here, because I gotta still glue that piece and then add the cork. So I got all this done. I was able to, as you can see here, I dropped some feeders, added a connector, and this is a double, so once I get the cork down here, I'll be able to just drop some feeders, connect it to the other side here, and then that'll give both tracks power. Coming along here, yeah, I know that's weird, right? You got a shell car and a Go Transit car. It's a wacky world we live in. I managed to get this is a, what are they called? I keep wanting to call them Kato. No, it's a Pico. There we go, Pico. It's a Pico rounded. I don't remember what number that is. think I have it around here somewhere. You know, I tend to throw things on the ground or wherever, and you know, I don't remember. Once I find out, I'll let you know. So, got a Pico switch here. It's a curved switch, and I just got it nailed down for now. Yeah, there's a bit of an overhang, and it feels a little bit tight on the curve, but it still works, and it works fine with a 6-axle locomotive. And you'll see that I'm able to go over the bridge, right? I totally did that on purpose. Not even. That car had very tight trucks anyways. I don't know what's wrong with it. Well, I know what's wrong with it. It has very tight trucks. But anyways, so besides adding this and then adding the curve, getting that nailed down and the track nailed down, getting the power running to it, it's pretty smooth. I have to solder the joints still. And I mean, it looks alright. So the next thing I'd be doing, I've got some more track here. This is actually going to come along this black line here, and it's going to start the incline. And I've started already going up. And you'll notice, and I'll use, because these cars are pretty big, I like to make sure that I have enough clearance on the curves here. So it has a pretty good curve to it where it's not going to touch. And these are like the longest, biggest cars I have, so if I do end up going with intermodal eventually, which I doubt, if someone was to bring over intermodal, which I have no idea, I know Dave doesn't do intermodal, but if anybody down the road comes over and they decide to bring intermodal, is all I'm saying, is that, you know, there's not going to be any issues. So, next, following this up, this is gonna, you know, we follow this line here. So these are the 1/2-inch 2% inclines. I've got the 1/2-inch riser underneath. Woodland Scenics, if it wasn't for these guys, I probably wouldn't be trying inclines, just because it's so risky. And if you screw up, then, you know, the whole thing doesn't work. So I'm trying it out, and I mean, so far so good. I've tried doing the you know, I think I had it over here. I went up, but I went up with the the 2% incline, and it worked just fine. So when I come this way, because I'm going to keep it at the 1 inch along here, and then when I get to this curve, I'm gonna, you know, do this again, and I have to raise this up because I need the big sheets. Like I did this with some scrap stuff. That's all going to be covered anyways. So all that's important is that the track's going to come along here, and it's going to go this way. And this is where the incline is going to stop. I mean, it's going to be a bit of a curve to it, because as you can see, the track has to follow along here. And yeah, it's going to come back this way, and it's going to go around. That part's not important. So it's going to come to about here, and then from there, I have no idea. I think it's going to come this way as well, and you'll see I've kind of made some makeshift thing here, which I'll explain in a minute. But once I get more foam down here, I'm going to make my way back. I'm going to have to put another layer on top of this, because eventually it's going to be 2 inches high, like that, and that's going to be the top part, which is going to be right in the middle here. So this is going to stay at this level, and this one's going to go up to 2 inches high. So that's it's a lot of work, right? I told you, I have so much to do, but I'm getting there. This is kind of like my main, but it's more or less my main for my Go Transit. This one here will also be able to fit Go Transit, but they will all be able to do freight, you know, it's just one of those things. But my main for freight actually is over this way. So, like I said, you'll notice I've got kind of an incline here. I don't have a lot of room to work with this way, like I did with this here, where I mean I can do like, you know, the half inch, another half inch. At 1 inch for a while, do another half inch, and then another half inch, and I'm at 2 inches. That there, like one of these is, I think two feet long, so that's a good, you know, 4 feet, and then another, you know, 2 feet that way, and then another 4 feet this way. So going this way, I don't have that much space. So what I'm doing is I'm putting two, I don't know if you can see this here. I'm putting 2 inclines together. So it's going to go up to 1 inch in a matter of 2 feet. It is kind of risky, but it's still very mellow. So I'm going to try it, see if it works. Then it's going to go up another 1 inch in a matter of 2 feet. So really this is 4 feet here. So this is basically half, well, less than half of this entire thing here. But as soon as I get to that 2 inch mark, that's my highest level for this entire layout. So with this though, I plan on doing a bridge, some sort of, you know what I mean, like some sort of bridge in here somewhere, which I'm excited but also really worried about at the same time, because I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to do it. Well, I mean, it's just adding a bridge, right? So it shouldn't be too bad, and I've got my measurements worked out, sort of, but again, it shouldn't be too bad. But along with that, you know, I'm going to have the rolling hill coming down this way and have it come this way. Lots of trees, and then, you know, water. And then I've got 2 tracks here that I've got to have the water go under. So that's also a concern. That's a curve, and I only find the straight bridges. So unless I can kind of cut out a portion of this, slip something in there, make a fake thing. If anybody knows of a way that I can do that, please let me know. The tracks itself, if I can do this with one hand. Track centers here are about 2.5 inches apart. So that means that you're looking at about 4 inches from that side of the track to this side of the track. So it's going to have to at least be 4.5 inches wide. And I don't know how long I want it. Maybe like not that long. Sorry for a shaky camera. Maybe about, you know, anywhere between 5 and 7 inches. Even like a 6-inch thing there. Just in that general area where it's like a bridge and then you've got your water coming this way. If anybody has any ideas for that, please let me know. If you've seen a kit where you can just have a bridge, like it's a very low bridge, you know, you got a creek underneath, let me know. Let me know what you think. So, you know, it's gonna go up to 2 inches, and then there's like the huge platform that's gonna be up here, which is gonna have the entire ethanol plant. You're gonna have like I'm gonna see if there's gonna be 3 tracks coming into it. So you got your one for your drop off and pickup, like, you know, empties, and then I don't know, I haven't really worked that out yet, but I think I want like at least 3. Yeah, one for dumping, and then one for empties, and one for dropping off fulls. So you take the empty, no, you drop off the fulls, you take the empties, and then you have a switcher taking all the fulls in and emptying them out. I think that's how it works. I don't know. I'm not that knowledgeable, but that's, if I had to say that's how it's done, that's probably how I would guess it. So, next, come up, I'm at the 2 inch height here. Well, first I got the, you know, the 1 inch down here, and it's going to continue around. I still have to get a piece of foam for here. Chop that off, and that's exactly 2 inches. So I put in my 2-inch piece to here, curve that cut so it goes with the contour, right? And then that's going to follow that along there, and I'm going to figure out something for here. But then that back there, that's all going to be 2 inches high. Near the back this way, you can kind of see that line going off there. There's going to be 2 tracks. So one, the farthest one, being from that there, and the other one being from the top of this. So that's going to curve, and that's going to go, and they're going to meet up around here, and then they're going to go in that way, back, and then around that way. See that big cardboard piece back there? Yeah, it's going to be the start of my paper mill. Big industry here. And because I've got that there, I'm going to have like a drop off, and then I'm going to have some sort of switching thingy here. Maybe have another building come this way. I should have some room. Yep, that's my plan for that. So kind of excited there. And then, like I said, you know, I have the tracks here. I kind of wanted somewhat of a Y here. I don't even know if that's even going to be possible, because it would have to come out this way and circle in, and then circle out, and then meet up here and go that way. But I'm going to have to, you know, play around with that for a bit and see. What do you think? And that's, I know it's a lot to put in one area. That's not even the full size of the paper mill, which, thanks to Dave, is actually ordered and it's on its way. So I should get it next week sometime. Might not even use the full building. Might like chop it down the middle so that like maybe like that much of it is being used, and then put that as a background. Get another one, put it up against here, hide that crack, Yikes. So obviously you can see I got a lot of work still to do. I got rid of a lot of my buildings that I know I didn't need, so sold them off to anybody who has bought them, and you watch my stuff. Thank you again for the, you know, the purchase and whatnot. It helps me out, helps you out. You know, I don't charge a fortune. I'll pay a fortune, but I don't charge a fortune. So yeah, keeping in mind the tracks coming in. So this is the logo, Go Transit low track, and it's going to go into the stationary here, which I'm terrified of doing, but eventually I will get around to it. This is supposed to be my city here. Looks like a scrap pile so far, but tracks along the back. They're going to curve out, come down this way. It's going to be a downcline, I guess you want to call it, and then into the station and back that way. The only other thing that's new here, I got another one of these switches. It's the opposite curve to that one over there. And then picked up another one of these. I think I still need 2 of these. One to go here and split into 2, and one up here to split into 2. And then, if you can kind of see, I have it marked out here to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tracks for like a yard. And they'll come all the way down to here, in and around this area. So that's a good amount of space just to have all my go-cars or Via cars lined up, ready for service. And this track here actually goes, and it's going to go to the farthest, and it's going to just go into the switches and then into the station. So it's going to be a very somewhat smooth transition into here, which takes us back to our start here. So you can kind of come into here, which means you're going to be going either into one of the closer station platform things, or you can go to the next one, which would be like this here, which is a higher up station platform up that way. So I'm sure that eventually it'll all make sense and it'll look a lot better once I get a bit more work done. But you know, tracks are expensive. It's crazy. It's like $8 for 3 feet. So you can imagine the footage, and then I've got like two mains plus another main, and you know, gets very costly. But other than that, was there anything else? Shoot, I don't remember. Oh yeah, I gotta still do the bench work under this piece here, so that's not glued down. I think I already mentioned that. But yeah, and just, you know, if you've got scrap foam, you can use it. You know what I mean? Like, no sense in throwing it out if the piece isn't big enough. You just cut them down and you make them fit. Actually, I think it's easier to work with them when they are smaller because you know, it's easier to shape them, right? But that's about it. Hopefully soon I'll be able to run a train. I mean, like, I know I can run a train from there all the way around to here, but I mean, you guys have already seen that. Although I did have a couple of my subscribers asking to run a train or a specific train, so I will get around to doing that. I do put videos on my Facebook, the Go VR Go Home Facebook page, every so often. So I'll put a link down below in the comments section. If you're not currently subscribed to me on Facebook, then go ahead. I'm always doing, actually, sometimes it feels like I update that more than I update this, but there's a lot more that I need to put into this and take the time to actually show that I'm making progress, where with the other one I'm just, you know, little things here and there. I'll do a little clip of a train. Oh geez, I almost forgot. there is something else a little different. I gotta go under. Ooh. So because I am running mains, and something that I guess is important to me is trying to keep the train tracks looking somewhat realistic. So if you can see all those little white notches, they're actually lifting up one side of the track. So it's what they call the super elevated something or other. I can't remember what it's called. I don't know why that even has the name super in it. Super elevated turn track, rounded, something like that. I don't know, it's late. But I think the middle one is the best one, but the outside, because it's more, you know, ooh, I was leaning too far. But yeah. Darn it. Okay. I don't know, it looks cool with the logo though. But yeah, so all I did was I took little styrene, focus, thank you. I took little bits of styrene, cut them all the same size, and in some cases I have them tilted upwards, I have them stacked in twos, and I just kind of put them around, and you can definitely see it. But it looks cool with the logo going just around it. You don't have to be going too fast, and it doesn't fall off. But it'll look cool when it's a big train going around there. And it just adds a touch of realism. And once I ballast it and make it look all realistic, it'll give it a much better feel to it. So if you want me to do a video just explaining a little bit further in depth how I do this, you know, feel free to leave a comment. Let me know what you think. The first time I've actually seen this, besides real life, but never really paid attention to it, was a video that Derek Glass did. And I know a lot of you subscribe to Derek Glass. He's an awesome guy. He has a really good layout. I watch his stuff all the time. He does his a little differently, so check for his video. If I can find it, I'll definitely put a link below as well. he uses tape, and he layers the tape along the outside edge. It's a lot cleaner looking than, having these little pieces here. But I already had the track down and everything, and I didn't feel like taking it back up. So this is just my approach. It'll all look fine once it's done, but check out his, see how he does it. Like I said, he did an awesome job at his super elevated turns. So check for that. Anything else besides that? I don't think so. I don't really have anything else new. Like, I just painted that building white, but I ran out of white paint. But then I got more. That's why it's over there. But it's been raining, so nothing really done. Other than that, I'm good. I'm go via or go home, aka Chris. I'd love to stay and chat, but I actually have a train to catch. So stay tuned for more, and I will see you then. Bye.